It's week 6 of the NFL. And coming up, we've got Aaron Rodgers. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Jets and the Bills under the lights on Monday night.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Well, the Buffalo offense coming out, and it is Josh Allen who is at the helm.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Allen going to look to throw on the first play. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. And Charles, we see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise, and obviously hoping to get these guys back on the field in a hurry.
Brandon, I'm going to go ahead and age myself, but I'm going to ask you, when you were in high school and there were injuries, did you hear next man up from your coaches?
Well, you hear it every week now in the NFL, that's for sure.
You know, back when I played when dinosaurs roamed the earth, you didn't hear next man up. You heard, oh, no, we've got to put in Davis.
Throwing now is Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. Third down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. On the ground, here's the 4th-round pick from April's draft. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Hassan Reddick coming through with a stop there and a tackle for loss to boot. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
And here's Davis to run again on second. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Allen from the gun on 3rd down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. So here come the Jets to take over. Led at quarterback by a man back to full health in season number 20 now, and his second one in New York, and that's Aaron Rodgers.
And I can't help but chuckle as we look at last year's stats for Aaron Rodgers. 0 for 1, no touchdowns, no interceptions, I can't believe that we're looking at a stat line like that, but remember, he only played 4 plays. The Jets know that will not be a stat line for this year, and they can't wait to see the old numbers replace the ones you're seeing there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Rodgers. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete. You look at this Buffalo defense. They were fantastic a week ago in the win over Houston.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bills shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Dances by him. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. The numbers for Hall in last week's ball game. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Bills offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. And he's been very impactful when using his legs this year, both when the pocket breaks down and by design. You notice his name sits near the top when looking at the league leaders in rushing yards by a quarterback. Here's Allen to throw it. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Allen Lazard and the Jets set to go back on offense. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him.
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. They had things a little spread out there with 4 wide receivers, and it opened up a running hole.
Yeah, not only do you get better running lanes because you are spread out, oftentimes when defenses see 4 wide receivers, they substitute in extra defensive backs, so you're blocking smaller personnel. That gives your running back a nice chance downfield against that type of a defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently.
Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jets use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They keep it with Davis on first down, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But look there at how Davis did a week ago. 18 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown.
Just an excellent performance from them on the ground last week, and that speaks to an offense that is operating at a high level on all fronts. Of course, that man running the ball, he's just seeing the field so well. But don't forget about his offensive line. They've really asserted their will out there and are confident they can repeat it again this week.
When you talk about this Jets defense,
they were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. That one taken in by Corley. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play.
out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
Gets around him. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Rodgers to throw. Connection made to Ruckert. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Working from the gun, Rodgers.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And all the way down to the 17-yard line.
Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
They'll give to Hall.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Ball at the 8 here for 2nd and a yard, maybe a touch less.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 8-yard line.
Here's Hall again.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Jets, 1st down. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Here's Rodgers. And it's caught. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. From a yard out.
And the Jets have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, gotta give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Zuerlein good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 2.
On play action, Allen.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Quinnen Williams, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. Now the punter, Sam Martin, called on to kick it away here. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Jets now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 26. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got the hook up to Lazard. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 31-yard line.
Straight ahead is Hall. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3.
Well, this defense for the Bills, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
The pickup there, 5 yards. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
From their own 40 to the other 40, the gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10.
Hall on a give up the middle.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 32-yard line.
Now Rodgers.
This completes a Corley.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
5-yard gain on the play. That's another Jets 1st down.
Rodgers going to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
Second and a couple.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Throwing is Rodgers. And he fires one incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you get your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll go again with Hall.
And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate.
2nd down from the 8. They can get a 1st down by reaching the 5.
8-yard line.
Here's a give to Hall.
And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here. The Jets on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Rodgers. A bullet throw, but incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal.
This is a 26-yard attempt. Zuerlein's kick is up and through.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field.
3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
Allen going to throw.
That's the rookie from Florida State, Keon Coleman.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup.
From the 46, here's 2nd and a couple.
46-yard line.
Here's Allen.
He dumps this off underneath. Here's Davis.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Bills first down.
Inside give to Davis. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
11 on the play. First down, Buffalo.
Motion man is Shakir.
Now Allen. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Davis. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Able to get away. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more.
And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
A 39-yard attempt.
The kick by Bass is good.
And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3.
So that stems the tide just a little, but this still a two-touchdown game.
And I think that maybe that was a bit of a calming drive for this offense, and that's exactly what they needed. They were able to move the ball. They did some good things. It's still the second quarter. Plenty of time to go.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Jets offense and Breece Hall headed out onto the field. We show you the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns. You can see where he's right up there amongst the league's best at finding the end zone.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Throwing middle, and it's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 34-yard line.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's got his man in stride, complete. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 8. Hall again.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Now 3rd and 9.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Fighting through pressure.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 32-yard line. That one good for 24 yards.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Ruckert hauling it in on the out route.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down.
A gain of 7 brings up 2nd and 3 at the Bills' 25-yard line.
That's thrown quickly out wide to Lazard.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Gain of 3 yards. That's another Jets first down.
A handoff for Hall.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Rodgers again now. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. Second down.
Brings up 2nd down and 5 yards to go.
To throw is Rodgers. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25.
That's Matt Milano firing in from his linebacker position.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey.
They'll set up the screen for Hall.
And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
They'll go for it. It's Hall.
And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Jets try it, but the fourth down play doesn't work. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on fourth down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
52 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
To throw, it's Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Coleman.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Now they run the option on second down.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets.
He's still on his feet. Inside the 10.
And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown.
Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
Zuerlein now for the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. Up the middle to Davis. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A gain of 5. And the Bills first down.
They go again with Davis. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Buffalo.
The slot man in motion right.
Now they run the sweep as Allen just pops this forward.
And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Coleman, the man in motion right. Allen. Coleman has it here right side. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 34-yard line. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Here's Allen to throw it.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
In motion right, that's Hamler.
From the gun, it's Allen.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series.
It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books. But it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Going down the middle, and it's complete. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Rodgers to throw.
Finds Lazard quickly on the slant.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers.
Throw over the middle. He's got Ruckert.
Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Rodgers now to throw.
Once again, Ruckert.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Rodgers to throw once more.
A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at the Superdome in New Orleans, where you see the final score there. Chris Olave, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, we head up to the Pacific Northwest. Check on the Seahawks at home in Seattle. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting San Francisco 49ers. Jackson Smith-Njigba, a touchdown catch in the victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. We got an excellent first half from the former MVP, Aaron Rodgers. He came out of the gate smoking hot with 2 first-quarter touchdown passes to help steer his guys towards this halftime lead. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Jets offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Second half starts with a run by Hall.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
It's 2nd and 8.
Give to Hall running right.
He can't get him down. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
68 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
This complete to Corley.
Sheds him off at the 45. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 45-yard line.
Throwing is Rodgers.
That one taken in by Corley.
A 5-yard pass on 1st down and another 5-yard connection there.
5-yard gain on the play. And the Jets, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard
From
line.
midfield, here's Rodgers.
His pass complete to Ruckert.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 46-yard line.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Throwing now is Rodgers.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Now Rodgers. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Rodgers.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the 1st half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Bills' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest, and this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now Allen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
Allen going to throw. And incomplete here to bring up 4th down as the rookie couldn't haul it in.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return.
And the Jets will take over. New York's offense back out there and set to go. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
And again, it's Rodgers.
Connection made to Ruckert.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 42-yard line.
Now Rodgers.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And the Bills are going to take over at their own 41. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Shakir hauls it in.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
A first down carry for Davis. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
This is Coleman with a grab. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
And you'll hear all the time that he's really a power forward who plays above the rim, and he does have a basketball background. But I think the Bills got a receiver to match their environment as well. Big, strong, physical, can go across the middle and catch the football.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Now Allen off the bootleg. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
10 yards to go.
To the air, Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Bills get a bit closer.
And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
So now Allen and the Bills going to stay out and go for 2.
The Bills are lining up for a 2-point conversion.
They'll look to throw. And unable to connect. They don't get the two-point conversion here. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere, seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. They'll start on the ground. Hall.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
90 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Second down and 10.
Here's Rodgers.
Pass complete. He's got Lazard on the out route.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So first and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 26-yard line. To throw is Rodgers. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Shotgun now for Rodgers.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up.
2nd and 10.
Back to the ground with Hall.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Makes it 3rd and 4.
Rodgers now to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4. At
Now a handoff to Davis. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Davis, he'll try to run for it. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
It's a gain of 6.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Here's Allen.
He dumps this off underneath. Here's Davis.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Allen.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So the shotgun snap to Allen.
Has his man. It's Shakir.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Throwing now is Allen. Coleman has it here right side. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. Now the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. A give running right is Hall.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to make it 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers.
That is caught.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
That's good for a Jets first down. 1st and 10 at the 27.
Here's Rodgers to throw.
This pass out wide to Hall.
And he is going to lose yardage here. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
27-yard line.
Rodgers again now.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. They'll give to Hall.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal.
From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so, and maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Throwing to start the drive, Allen.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Well, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
To throw, it's Allen. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down. In motion goes the tight end. From the gun, it's Allen. Over the middle, complete. That's Coleman. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Allen, got to have this one. Being chased out left. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Now Allen.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now Allen. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here.
Here's Allen to throw it.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
He had to absorb another little bump there from the defense, another incomplete pass. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
They've come after him all night long. Nothing but pressure in his face. He's trying to stand up there and make throws. It's hard enough to do when the pocket is clear. When you got all those people in front of you, almost impossible to have a good completion percentage.
That's to his running back, complete. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
Holding offense.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. One final try here for Allen.
That is incomplete.
The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. So that's the 2nd time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Now 2nd and 3. Here's Hall again.
And down inside the 15 he goes.
126 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
14-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
That's the linebacker, Matt Milano, getting up and stopping him for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
That's thrown quickly out wide to Lazard.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
3rd and 5.
3rd and 5.
Now Rodgers. And it'll be intercepted. Taron Johnson able to pick it.
And the Bills are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
The Bills getting set to go.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Allen going to throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now Allen again. To Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
A gain of 29 yards. 1st down, Bills.
To the air, Allen. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
In motion right, that's Claypool.
Allen now looks to throw. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
And this one is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football back.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
Get
right?
your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
Now he's free at the 35.
And finally down at the 9-yard line.
Big yardage that time for the Jets. 59 yards for him on the ground.
On the play. Tackle made at the 9-yard line. First and goal at the 9-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation. They'll run with Hall.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6.
That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up second and goal.
3 brings up second and goal.
They'll go again with Hall.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Third and goal.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
Now they can't bring him down. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Bills ready to take over.
They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
You're not going to want that feeling in you.
no, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off season, but on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Jets, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.